Hi, and welcome to Mom Babes, where every mom is a babe. And if you're like Christina, I don't feel like a babe, I haven't crafted in like 5 years, then this channel is especially for you. I create videos for moms who are creatives. And if you're like, I'm not a creative, which you actually probably wouldn't be because this is a video about making a diaper cover, so you probably know you're a creative. I put out videos every week, so be sure to subscribe and ding the bell to get notified when I release a new video. Today we are learning how to make a diaper cover, which I originally started because I wanted to do a Cake Smash baby's first birthday outfit, but you can use a diaper cover for whenever, just for funsies. I did include the other parts of the outfit in the notes if you want to know how to make the complete outfit. So I'm going to show you how to make the diaper cover from start to finish, including making your own pattern. Don't worry, it is not as intimidating as it sounds. It's actually pretty simple and straightforward. You'll see in the video. I wouldn't consider myself a master sewer by any means. I probably sew twice a year. I do know how to use a sewing machine, and I definitely didn't have to watch a video on how to rethread my machine. That would be embarrassing. All I'm trying to say is you don't need to feel like a super sewer in order to do this project. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. If I can do it, you can do it. But I would say you do at least have to kind of know how to use a sewing machine. The diaper cover is for size 12 to 18 months, which is pretty standard retail size. I do have some notes below that you can look at if you're looking to make a different size. Some practical notes, in the materials listed, I didn't picture an ironing board and an iron and a safety pin because, well, the safety pin I forgot, honestly, and the ironing and ironing board just looked really ugly. So I listed it on there, so make sure you do have those materials even though they aren't actually pictured. So let's make a diaper cover. To start, you're gonna pick the pattern that you want to use for your baby diaper cover. You're gonna need elastic 1/4 inch by 45 centimeters, so about 2 to 3 yards of that, scissors, cardboard or paper stock for your pattern, and a sewing machine, obviously matching thread. This is the most complicated part. Don't let it overwhelm you, but we are going to make our own pattern, easier than it looks. So the top you'll see is 30 centimeters by 19 and a half, 14 and a half on the bottom, 4 on the right side, and then the little casings is 1.5 centimeters and then 1 centimeter. You can always pause this and use the measurements to trace your own design, and kind of similar pattern to the bottom. I'll show you how to make a rudimentary one too. 25 centimeters by 19 and a half on the right, 12 and then 14 over the top, 4.5 on the left, 1.5, and then that 1 inch for the leg casing that is gonna go on this side. So if you wanted to do something that is a little more rudimentary, you would just go ahead and measure out the distance on the bottom, which is gonna be 25 centimeters and 19 and a half on the top. And that's gonna give you a rough rectangle of the pattern that you are going to need. Again, that's 25 by 19, and then 14 over on the top. And then it's gonna create a rectangle. And the only thing that you do wanna make sure that you leave is that 1 inch centimeter rough loop on the left where you are going to do the leg casing. Notice that it does come out a little bit on the left and a little bit on the top. But same for the back, you're gonna do 30 centimeters by the same 19 and a half, come over about 14 and about 4 on the left, and then just make sure you extend out that 1 centimeter along that for the back like you do along the front. If you don't want to do perfect measurements and pause the screen, that's a rudimentary way. Once you have your pattern, you're going to go ahead and trace it. You will cut out your pattern. And as you can see, we have the front here, and you'll see the 1 centimeter leg casings on either side kind of sticking out. And as you cut it along the fold, you'll do the same thing with the back. So the bottom of the pattern is going to be along the fold right here. And go ahead and trace. Same thing, 30 centimeters by 19 centimeters if you wanted to do the rough estimation. And then you'll go 14 centimeters over, leaving that 1 centimeter casing. And once you have both of them cut out, you can kind of get an idea of what it will look like. So the first thing that we are going to do is put the right sides together, wrong sides facing out, and stitch along the crotch on the bottom. So you'll see that I sew along the leg casing. I do a little diagonal right there, and then I sew along the crotch. You're gonna have a 3/8 inch seam allowance, and then I sew along the other leg casing. I went ahead and ironed the seam down, so you can see that it's ironed flat. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to iron with the right side still facing together. Iron a 1 centimeter fold on all of the leg casings, which will look something like this. Ta-da! Do another centimeter fold, so measure 1 more centimeter, and fold a second time. So you should have 2 folds, 1 centimeter and another centimeter that's ironed, which looks like this. And you can see there is 1 fold and 2 folds. And you're gonna go ahead and do that to all 4 of the leg casings, which will look something like this. Now we're gonna put the right sides back together and sew along the sides right here. So go ahead and stitch along the side, again 3/8 inch seam allowance, and you're gonna sew along the leg casing at the bottom as well. And you are gonna go ahead and do that for both sides. So as you can see, we have our stitch going there and stitch coming here, again including that leg casing all the way up. Now we are going to go ahead and pin the leg casing. So you're gonna fold it twice. So you wanna make sure that both folds are included, and you wanna make sure that it is big enough to include the elastic that we're going to be threading through. So you don't want it to be too small. So you wanna leave a good amount of space there, and go ahead and pin along the entire leg casing. Again, fold it once, fold it twice, make sure both folds are included. I like to start at the crotch so that my seams are, if they do look a little messy, they're in the crotch where no one can see them. So as I'm making my way around, I am going to leave an opening here. So you don't want to sew it all the way because we do need to thread the elastic in. So once you get to a certain point, just stop and go ahead and leave that opening so that you can come back and put the elastic in later. And then go ahead and stitch the other side. Same thing, I like to start along the crotch so that my extra stitches aren't as noticeable. And I'm gonna stop and leave an extra inch or so where I can put in the elastic and leave that portion unsewed. So we're gonna look something like this. So now they're sewn, let's go ahead and find the little holes where we are going to insert our elastic. You're gonna take your elastic, and the first piece you're gonna cut is 13 inches long. And once you have the first piece, you are gonna make sure you have a second piece. Now we're gonna take a safety pin and thread it through the end of the elastic. This part is the most tedious. You're gonna push the safety pin through, which is why you wanna make sure that you have enough space, that you left enough space to push it through. So you kind of just bunch and pull the head of the safety pin through. It is a little tedious. Go ahead and throw on some Netflix and chill while you do this. Once you get it all the way through at the end, you're going to sew your elastic together. So you're gonna wanna put it over top and make sure that there are no twists in the elastic. You can do a zigzag stitch on your sewing machine, or you can cheat like I did for one of them and go ahead and use a needle and thread and go through that way. You do want to make sure that it is secure if you're using the needle and thread. Once that's done, you'll go ahead and push the elastic back in, spread out the elastic, distribute it, and we are going to seal up that opening where we put the elastic in. So once you have sewed both of them, inserted the elastic and sewed up the thing, you'll do one side as well as the other. You can kind of see what it's going to look like, and we're almost done. The next step is to iron the waistband. So you're going to do the same thing, 1 centimeter, fold and iron, and then fold it again a second time and iron again. So you will have 2 folds, 1 centimeter each, and we'll repeat the same process for the waistband, where we pin. Once we folded it, once it's ironed and folded twice, go ahead and pin it all the way around. And we are going to sew it. Again, I like to start along the side seam so that my extra stitches aren't as obvious, and leave about 1 inch or so for the elastic to go through on the top. Now we are going to find our opening and take the elastic. This time we are going to measure a piece that is 19 centimeters long and chop chop. Take your safety pin, poke it through the end of the elastic, and like before, our favorite part, we are gonna thread it through the entryway that we made. So same thing, throw on some Netflix and chill and just bunch and thread and bunch and thread and work the safety pin through the top. Once it comes through again, you are going to overlap it and make sure there are no twists in the elastic. And you can go ahead and sew it on the sewing machine with that zigzag stitch. Or you can go to town like I did and do the needle and thread on this one. I got a little aggressive with this final stitch, as you can see, but the cool thing about it is that no one can see the elastic. So you can make it as ugly and ridiculous as you want, and it doesn't really matter. You'll see. So as you can see, I am just going crazy here and back and forth, and look at how ridiculous and ugly this stitch is. I don't even think there's a name for this stitch, but guess what? That sucker is going nowhere, like ever, and nobody's gonna be able to see it, so it works just fine. Obviously, if you can do it on the sewing machine, that's gonna be a little prettier. You'll distribute the elastic and go ahead and stitch up that final area. And you did it, Mom! Look at this cute diaper cover! It's gonna make your baby's bum look adorable. Super, super cute. Oh my gosh, so fun. And they can wear them and crawl around in them and look way cuter than just a whatever diaper. One thing I do like to do to make it look very nice and clean at the end is go around and just cut off any loose threads that I may have missed from any of my stitches, just so that it looks all pretty and professional. Yeah, yeah, you did it! Party, party, party! Woohoo! Go, go, go! Look at you! Get out of here! Stop! Stop it! Stop! You're amazing. Good job. If no one has told you yet today, you are doing a good job. Also, remember, if you do want to make the other pieces of the birthday cake smash outfit, I've included those videos below, along with some notes on size variations if you're wanting to make a different size. My baby has very chonk legs, so the elastic fit pretty snugly, which is what I wanted because it helps cover the diaper. But if you have, maybe you're making it for a baby that doesn't have as chunky of legs, you may want to adjust the elastic length by 1 centimeter or so. Let me know how it went if you made the diaper cover, if you have any suggestions or notes or things to make it easier for people in the future, if it didn't fit your baby and why, or any kind of notes that'll be helpful for other people that are watching this video. Thanks guys, and I will catch you next time on Mom Babes.